We have studied that anything which has mass and occupies some space is known as matter. And particularly the ancient philosophers all over the world, even from the ancient times, were trying to find out the composition or the constituent of matter. We have studied in the beginning that some of the Indian philosophers like Maharishi Kanath, Pagudaka Dhyayama are studying a number of religious books, particularly the Vedas. And they stated that if we are going on dividing a particular matter, we will reach a stage that we cannot possible to break it further, and they have named it as the smallest indivisible portion of matter as Paramanu. So I think you are remembering all these things. Based on these studies and investigation carried by the scientist, that is John Dalton, and on the investigations, on studies and investigation, he came out with the statement that the smallest portion of the matter which can be divided for any further is an atom. Okay, in the year 19th century, 1808, he gave a famous theory known as atomic theory of matter. So John Dalton came up with the theory that atoms are the fundamental building blocks of matter. So through several experiments, through several studies, through several investigation, he came out with the statement that the smallest portion of matter which cannot be divided further is an atom. So the same thing that have proposed by the philosopher, that is the smallest indivisible particle, is Paramanu. So John Dalton named that smallest particles as atom. Okay, and he gave the famous theory known as atomic theory of matter. So the second portion we are going to study what is atomic theory of matter. So this was proposed by whom? John Dalton. John Dalton. Okay, so the first theory, we are going to study the first theory of John Dalton. What is Dalton's atomic theory? So the theory states that all matter is made up of very tiny indivisible particles called atoms. So what the statement? The theory states that all matter is made up of very tiny indivisible particles called atoms. So as I said, this is the statement of the philosopher, that is the smallest particle called Paramanu. And through investigation and experimental studies, Dalton's proved that the smallest particles which cannot be divided further, ഇനി ഫർദറായിട്ട് ഡിവൈഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റാത്ത സ്മോളസ്റ്റ് പാർട്ടിക്കിളിനെ ജോൺ ഡാൾട്ടൺ വിളിച്ച പേരാണ് ആറ്റം. So the smallest particle in which the matter made out, he named it as atom. So what is the theory? Theory states that all matter is made up of very tiny indivisible particles called atom. Okay, and according to his atomic theory, he postulates some, that means he assumptions. Postulates means assumption. So some of the assumptions of Dalton's atomic theory were there, the important features of the Dalton atomic theory. So it is listed here. We can study one by one.